Welcome, Harmonizing Journey to Realignment, Seminar and Sessions. I'm hoping my phone's not showing us live yet, but it's saying we're live. HJR Insights Tarot Show, Energy Forecast for April 2026. With my, okay, why is it still showing? There we go. Okay. Yes. Our energies aligning into from the net earth Fibonacci spiral into the crystal spiral. And I have my beautiful, wonderful co-host Lewis Oxley to support and help out, especially the point when I take the picture, or I put the cards out, take the picture, and then I got to get the picture loaded up for us. Which reminds me, probably would be good to plug my phone in. Okay. Okay. All right. And with that, HJR Insights Purpose and Meaning. So we will examine, we've got someone that tuned in. Welcome, whoever just tuned in. Just if you can give us a little love in the chat, say hello and let us know who you are and where you came from, where you're from. That would be awesome. And any questions you may have or comments would be awesome to hear. And it looks like we might have lost them. I think we might have freaked out. Oh no, I don't want to show who I am. Don't know. Anyway, we will examine looking at the purpose and meaning. We will actually, Lewis, do you want to read those?
Yeah.
Or am I going to make you nervous doing that?
HJR Insights Purpose and Meaning. We will be examining the reality we as humanity have been creating, what the current narratives currently being played out, what is the history and mechanics being used, what do we want to keep and what do we want to change, probably a good question to ask, and how can we support what we want to keep, and how can we effectively shift what we do not want to keep it in a win-win stance for everyone.
Perfect. The tools we will be using, both tarot and astrology, are technologies we created to look at the universe with clarity, an intricate part of which we are, to navigate our way through it. We will be using these tools from a Quilanta perspective with our guardian clan family. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. That's definitely not what I wanted to do. Let's try this again. Okay, there we go. And just as a reminder, we are looking at disengaging off the Fibonacci spiral of second creation finite mechanics of the dead light path that hooked into the crystal spiral, the crystal spiral here. Energy lines and energy centers, spiraling vortices, counter-rotating vortices that are little like minute cathar grids into a little bit bigger structures of the cosmos, really. So, and then it goes all the way into the eternal core of our being, which then expands back out into the inner, middle, into our outer realm of light body structure. And there is a perpetually renewing aspect to the crystal spiral with the in-breath and out-breath of life, of the light, sound, and one, which the Fibonacci 2 torus structure just does not do the tube torus structure runs the energy back through the center, does not, it's cut off, does not line up with the bigger cathodic grid structures until the life structure eats itself up, however long that may be. And many times have to vampire off other life systems to keep from going kaboom and eating itself up. Okay. And then, Louis, did you want to add anything to that?
Oh, no, you said it perfectly.
Okay. And I'm not satisfied with this yet, but it's a start. I've been wanting to do this for a while, to take the astrological houses and fitting them onto a cathodic grid structure. And this is from the Voyagers to Voyage. Anyway, I'll just call it Voyagers 2. Page 521, diagram of the galactic and universal Stargate system that we are an intricate part of. And what's interesting is that, and I'm going to add a little bit of the esoteric Christianity Steiner information in this too, and kind of looking at how to sort of navigate and bring these together. So our solar system is within the sun, who is within our galaxy, Vecca, which is within our Eka universal system. So actually in Voyager, she really gets into the fact all the planets are actually within the sun itself. And there's intricate ways through the energy line and energy centers, how they connect. And in actuality as well, our planets in this solar system were originally part of what we call Terra from our harmonic universe to angelic soul level. And there's, of course, a history on how that occurred, how we went from being there to here. So this system is actually not, the way it's designed, it's not actually a normal natural system to begin with, but it did originally try to form to an organic structure of the cathodic grid structures. And just to kind of keep in mind, the signs in the houses represent our personality, physical makeup, and our karmic paths. And then our solar planetary cathodic grid was intentionally altered to no longer fit within the galactic and universal cathodic grid system within its Akasha crystal spiral network. And really, when you look at, and Aisha has a lot of diagrams as to how our system was modified, which includes our astrological zodiac structure. So the only one that really, I think, when I looked at it, was in the right place was the number 2 position of Venus. Venus is also shown in the main map as the galactic stargate Venus at the number 2 position. It's also the correct house. Mars, and when you get into esoteric Christianity, Mars and Mercury as well as Venus are different evolutionary stages actually of Earth, and times when, or actually I should say, Mars and Mercury are developmental stages of Venus. Sorry, that's more accurate. And when they kind of part cycles, they went through a cycle, fell, and split. So Mars is that. I think some say Mercury is a correction, but I don't know that I would say that for sure, because that is what is associated with Thoth, with
Maldek?
What?
Maldek, was it?
I haven't gotten there yet. And but Thoth, Hermes, magenta. No, not magenta. Hermes. I can't remember the last trip. Anyway, esoteric. It's embarrassing. Esoteric Christianity people would really get that pretty good. Anyway, that's Thoth. And Thoth is Melchizedek, an Anunnaki, who was a beloved speaker many, many thousands of years ago, that actually did some really nasties and still doing nasties, and not really somebody to follow. So I don't know that I would say Mercury is a really wonderful, but all these have their organic roots. So we'll just say there's some really good qualities to it as well. Both Mars, Venus, and Mercury have their organic roots to them and have really good things to them. And again, I think the root of them was Venus to begin with. So we have Venus in number 2, 1, 3. I mean, all relating to harmonic universe 1, the relationship. And we also have then Maldek, which is now the Van Allen belt. And that actually was in the position 3 at one time in history. And Earth, when it broke apart, Earth, it then became in its position. So we already have things off to begin with that. And then we look at the 4th house, the moon. And now that's interesting, because I think was originally Galactic Stargate Mars was in that position. And number 1 was positioned considered parallel Earth and Beta Orion connection. Yeah. Now, looking at from an anthroposophy, or the old esoteric Christianity, when they look in their map, we have our position of Saturn, which they have their house at number 10 position. Then you have Venus. Then we went from, actually, I'll get this right. So I was looking at the other day, for some odd reason it looked differently. But anyway, so we were Saturn. Then Saturn became the sun. And I'm talking ancient Saturn. So not necessarily the Saturn that we have today, planetarily. Okay, there's Saturn. So Saturn is in galactic position, naturally in the 7th position, where we have Venus. So we still have a relationship there with origins with Venus. Although we have Venus in 2 places, which we know that's probably not original, because there was actually 12 of these, not the number that we have, which I'm spacing on because I didn't count ahead of time to remember. But we have more than this. And so Saturn's position, then it moved down to the sun. So you're looking at number 5, which is considered the sun now, and then moved over to the sun. So there's this sort of Saturn, sun, moon, or Saturn to Alcyon, which is where we came up. So Terra / Alcyon Pleiades, that's harmonic universe 2. That's where we originally came from those that are angelic humans. So there is a relationship there, but there's a split connecting into Saturn. There's a split that goes into the sun, which is actually the 4th position, which became the moon. So there's an interplay with the moon, because we became moon, or became sun, then moon from the esoteric Christianity. And then we move over into this connection with Earth, which is a combination of Venus, Mercury, and Mars. And just noting, let's see, Pluto, house is in the Gaia position, Uranus, where Uranus, galactic Stargate, what Uranus was originally in the 8th position. Then you have Pluto, originally was in the 10th position. Saturn's in that house now. Uranus is up in the 11th position there, which is interesting because really we have an Lyra, Avalon Lyra, or Lyra connection there, and a reversal with, or no, I think, yeah, Nibiru actually was originally Galactic Stargate 11, and that got hit and compromised, but that was its original position, and now Uranus is there. Then we have in the 12th position Neptune, which is originally the Galactic Stargate, the actual real sun Sol position there. Like I said, originally the sun has all the planets in it from a galactic perspective. So I'm just playing. I would love it if other actual astrology people could put their 12 cents in this. Would be really good. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Lewis, before I move on to the next? Or am I just getting you confused? It's very confusing, but it's interesting. It's to digest. I'm still digesting it. You know, like Jupiter, the galactic stargate Jupiter's in the 6th position. We have Mercury there again. Mercury in 2 places, at 3rd and 6th we see. Oh, and you're looking at the Cathar grid structure, those 2 alignments. One in harmonic universe 1, the other in harmonic universe 2. And I was getting a feeling when I was looking at the hierarchy for them, which is the Seraphim Fallen matrix, that I think it's actually they connect into parallel. I don't even think they really make it past harmonic universe 2 anyway, even though it looks like it is, but I don't think it really is. I think it's just parallel, and anyway, that's a whole other post that I did at one point. So anyway.
Do you remember in KDDL 3 where she talks about the 3 ways home, and then kind of how she talks about the different evolutions, how we're going to have a Christic evolution, and it's going to be on certain planets where we can either go into the Aurora platforms.
Yeah. Jupiter, she said, was not doing well in position Galactic Stargate 6, which we have Mercury, which I said was kind of compromised. I think she said Uranus was still viable. Is that right?
I remember Venus definitely was, and you've said that
Venus
it's the only
is
planet
viable.
that wasn't.
Yes. And we have Venus in 2 positions, in 7 and 2. But actually where Venus is at now from the astrological aspect is Saturn, where Saturn normally is, which is interesting. It'll be interesting to see how things fall into place. Especially the more we start disengaging from this old net Fibonacci spiral structure here and go back to the original galactic Stargate crystal spiral structure. But be that as it may, the people that say, oh, because it's distorted, I'm just going to pretend and I'm just going to make the decision that it's not going to affect me anymore. I just love that when people say that. Yeah, right. And I just wanted to just kind of remind, when we're looking at that Cathar grid structure, how it fits in a bigger Cathar grid structure and a bigger Akasha structure. And then I was talking about, we're in the Atori, we have the parallel Odori counter-rotating spirals through each other, and how they interface in the middle domains, inner domains in the core. We got our little hat tours, and they work with the Rashael collective of the Middle Edonic, or Garden of Eden. Garden of Eden, working to make that connection out of the outer realms back into the middle. So once you get into the middle, you're going to go naturally into the inner and to the core of your eternal being. And again, the complexity of the cathartic structure and the cosmic God seed Akasha Ea of that structure, of all the different interfacing Cathara grids, and how those houses interface into other houses and or other position, other energies and alignments of things that we don't even know really what their names would be from the astrological zodiac perspective, the zodiac perspective. Okay, and just now, getting that us into the focus of thinking of the zodiac more as fitting into a Cathara grid structure. So I got that as symbol there. Again, our 13th pillar, right, within our eternal core, the Manu within the 13th pillar, connecting into the Kristalla of the tonal vibration, picturing into the physical structures that we have of the light body structures of the Christos. And always remembering the counter rotating. And there's every life structure has this, every organic, I should say, structure has this Cathara grid structure from the very minutest I'm trying to think. Bion, what are those little teeny tiny quarks? And I mean, just the teeniest, tiniest things of physical creation have a Cathara grid structure that builds on other Cathara grid structures that then make bigger Cathara grid structures, and to the point we have atoms and then cells and so on and so forth to major humongous universes. So yeah. And again, I just kind of added the planets, which I hadn't had them before. Taurus correlates with Venus, Mars with Aries, Gemini, Mercury, Cancer, the Moon, Leo, the Sun, Mercury with Virgos, Venus with Libra. And again, I think it's interesting that we've looked at before, position 1, ego of Harmonic Universe 1, Cancer, ego, root of Harmonic Universe 2, and then Libra, Venus, Harmonic Universe 3 of our oversoul level, when we're getting more complex ego that is able to work with seeing more than itself and able to interconnect with others. And then Capricorn, well, I guess I should slow down a little bit here. Pluto, Scorpio, monad. But I think Scorpio was originally Saturn, in the Saturn connection. A few of these they've changed from what they were at an older age, but where it's at now is in Pluto. And yeah, and then in Sagittarius is Jupiter, the lucky ducky. People talk about it being the lucky ducky. I don't know. We'll see. Of higher knowledge. Capricorn, Saturn, life task, and also that would be. Let's see. Yeah, that would be. Maybe not. I'll just say it is. I think it is. It's, yeah, because no. Anyway, Cappy's Saturn, Aquarius, Uranus, and then our Neptune hidden realm of Pisces. Okay. So with that, I am going to. So we all can focus. So it's looking at focusing on April, how our shield, how our group shield is aligning with releasing from net Fibonacci tube torus Earth to the organic crystal spiral Aurora / Urea Earth realm. Looking at all these different connections here. and I will the cards out, and then Lewis will kind of share whatever he'd like to share while taking the picture and then loading it up onto the.
I should really write down what I want to kind of talk about, because normally when I talk, it just comes out the fly, which sometimes is a really good thing. Other times it's a really bad thing. But hello, I really want to talk to you guys about really reaffirming our stances on which spirals we want to be a part of on all levels, whether that's the eternal life crystal spiral or the Metatronic finite life spiral. So over the last couple of months, the kind of dreams that I've been having is I've been going into kind of fallen places, such as parallel Earth and things, and kind of what I've been doing is I've been slowly going in there very quietly, picking up people, leading them out of a portal back onto this side, going back in, and just kind of doing my thing. Obviously, if you want to learn how we can do that, we've got HJR, we've got the Gridkeepers membership and things, or even just the private sessions where we can do all those kind of things very safely. But kind of recently, over the last couple of weeks, I've kind of noticed that for whatever reason, the beings that are kind of stuck in these places, whether they're hibernation zones, parallel Earth, or even just parts of ourselves in Density 1, where the fire letter sequences are not activated, and they're kind of just living in their own little life fields, and we're absolutely oblivious to it. So what my real point is, I want to talk about is just reaffirming our stances, because for some reason there's getting more of an urgent stance on wanting to get out. And obviously, throughout the past, especially with Tove and all these and his experiments with the blue sword initiations and things, promising the people, oh, you can have the finite, infinite life and all this other kind of rubbish, when they don't really tell you the real terms and conditions about what that actually means. So it's just something to really just be aware of, ultimately. And what I've kind of started noticing is that, at least within this body that we're in right now, for whatever reason, I'm really seeing it as like a control center. And what I mean by that is, we, in the present moment, we as the ego, have so much power. All our power is held right here. And we're kind of like the steering wheel in a lot of ways. What we do here really influences the past, what our other selves are going to do, and the future, what our future selves are going to do. So it's really just about being aware of and reaffirming the stances of, do we want to be on the crystal spiral? Do we want to be on the Metatronic spiral? Or just going down the middle route of just saying, right, okay, anybody that wants to get on the bus can get on the bus and come on the crystal spiral with me. And if anyone else wants to stay in the fall path, that's absolutely fine. You can stay there. I can do a HDR session. We can get you all cut off. And we can all just separate very nice. Kind of, but yeah, I probably could have said this a lot better, to be honest. But again, ugh.
You sounded wonderful, Lewis. You sounded perfect. Okay, how do I want to? Right.
Last thing I'd really like to add is, as being the control center in this space and time, we have such a big responsibility of becoming and progressively mastering and rebuilding our encryption ladders to really create the desired reality that we really kind of want to merge into. And obviously we don't really have the luxury of time. We've kind of just been getting that we have 3 years to really choose. Not to scare anyone, there's nothing particularly scary about it. It's always just a bit in your mind of
Lewis, I don't know if I would have started with that. Oh, bless you. A lot's going to change in 3 years. There's something that's going to shift. We don't know the details of it. We just keep picking up on it. And yeah, so it's really important, I think, to really right now make the choices of what kind of life you want to live. What kind of life do you want to create, right?
Obvious.
You got to get off the fence. Where do you really want to go? Sorry, Lewis.
Oh, it's not good.
I'm almost there. I really am almost there. Okay.
I really just wanted to hit the home that we can't just, like you said, we can't just keep sitting on the fence anymore. We have to pick a side. And there isn't no wrong side that we can pick. But if you don't pick a side, you might end up on a side that you don't want to be on.
I think it's also picking you is really, to me, what it's about.
Yeah.
It's choosing you. It's choosing yourself.
That's
It's
really
not trying to
fun.
play the game anymore. And just being your authentic self is really kind of, to me, the bottom line. Alrighty, here we go. Okay. Oh.
Seems very positive.
I just realized I didn't know when I went to take the picture that I lost the top of one of the guy's head. Anyway, sorry about that. Okay. All right. So, looking for the month of April, in our first position, Aries, our Mars, our ego, harmonic universe one ego identity, is basically saying, I need to step back a little bit. I need to not be rushing around so much. I need to still my mind. I need to maybe not be as fiery as usual, because in the background of this card is water. There's a lot of emotions hidden behind this, behind her, and she's basically saying things are a little overwhelming. I'm on my knees. I think she's on her knees. No, she's sitting. Never mind. In some version, she's on her knees, but I'm sitting down. My mind is just saying, hold. Now, it's very much a minor arcana card. It's not major, and it's a timing card. So just when you when one's ready, we'll move forward. But they have to, and that again, making the choice to be you, be authentic to yourself. You have to be able to slow down and really tune in. What is that? So that could be what that card is saying. And then this is interesting. Taurus, our position of our resources. So food, gardening, gold, silver, basically the resources that we use to sustain and maintain. The World card is actually kind of a beautiful card. Now, it's getting maybe a little negatively aspected with this card, because this isn't the happiest card. It's almost like this card is saying, I need to take stock of all of what I have, because this is a completion card. This is what comes around, goes around. It's just the World card. It's saying everything that I need, because again, this is, if you're looking at material things, how this card would fit with material. I actually have everything I need within the world, but I haven't maybe quite figured that out yet. So I need to slow down and take stock of what I have. And then I knew I was going to space Gemini. Yeah, I think this, Gemini. So we're getting a little air here, a little air sign, a little mental. And in our near environment, so neighbors, friends, grocery stores, traveling around a little bit, but in our neighborhoods. Could even say going to our work, is also a very physical card here. Even though we're talking about Gemini, which is an air sign, it's almost again taking stock. What do I have actually? What have I already manifested? What resources do I have? And really kind of taking the time to gather them up, maybe even prepare. There might be something we need to be preparing for, is sort of a feeling with these cards. Or not that for sure something is going to happen, but it's saying we probably need to have our ducks in a row. And then we hit our Cancer, 4th house, our root, our home, our family, our particularly relationships with the mother. So we have the Judgment card. So, and it's a major arcana. So we're not going to get out of this one. So paying attention to what's going on with our family, with our home, with our physical house. And again, looking at these resources, connecting with resources and stuff, our physical environment, being more close, maybe staying, we need to kind of stay close at home because there's something that we're going to have to be awake and aware about. And I just realized the thing might have been counting me. Anyway, if we get number one of one person again, it's going to be me. So yeah, we need to really maybe even work with the relationship with our mother. Maybe do repairs on the house. And again, stocking up. Maybe we need to stock up in case we're going to need to stay. There's stuff that we really need to be awakened to and paying attention to, because there is something that's going to be big, that's going to be changing the home. And again, looking in regards to shifting our consciousness, shifting our alignment, being able to align, if we're going to, which is kind of an interesting discussion. Lewis was kind of bringing it up, but the Gridkeeper group has been really looking at dreams that they've been having, things that have been coming up, we all have, as disengaging, having programs coming up of the old matrix of almost, some of it almost like selling your soul kind of things, like glamour, like trying to like pull us back in, and we're like, no. But in that, it's still, we need to, if we're not going to run as the old net program of reality, we have to then how to realign, how to be able to work with the material, to work with the resources, but in a way that's more harmonious and respectful, and having appreciation and taking stock and slowing down and not having to always do, but just appreciate and wake up to what we already have. And this is interesting as we move into Leo, the sun, that now this is a beautiful card, although it is next to this card. So this card's kind of given a little not maybe the best, because this is a little bit, can be a little bit of a harsh card. But again, it's like, wake up. What is it that you have to celebrate, to be expressive with, but expressive physically, creating, developing. What new things can you develop and express outwards? Something really positive is going to be developing this month in alignment with aligning with who you are, being your authentic expression. I do have that, but yeah. No, wait, yeah, no, that's right. And then our Virgo. Yeah, this is our Virgo. Moving out of troubled waters. So, in regards to in Virgo, health, how you get the right wording on that. Health-oriented routines, including nutrition and exercise, and the link between work and health. Your chores, duties, job-oriented relationships, service to others, and capacity for self-sacrifice. So this is saying, wherever we have been stressed physically in those areas, we're actually moving out of being stuck and things kind of moving forward. But that's after we've taken stock, right? And really woken up and really are starting to manifest physically, including probably eating well. We're going to start doing better physically. And it'll also, because this is a swords card, thoughts and words, our mental well-being will be moving in a better direction as well, because we'll have been taking care of what we needed to take care of physically, right, in our routines and nutrition and so forth. Now, that's a little bit of a not so fun card in our Libra, Venus, relationships, partnerships, one-on-one relationships, business and personal, including relationships with enemies. So we are about midway through, because usually this card, the Death card, is you're in the middle of a major transformation, never to be the same again. So, and this is in our oversoul. Yeah, that's right, oversoul level. Which is kind of interesting because our Cancer. Our ego Cancer for Harmonic Universe 2 angelic self was actually major wake-up call, waking from the dead, having major revelations, really seeing something that you couldn't see before. And then our oversoul level of our death, the Death card of Venus, of our more complex, developed better, more developed ego self is in a major transformation midway through the month. Because it's all simultaneous, right? It's all happening at the same time when you really get into multidimensionality. So, yeah, we are going through a major transformation. And it's also usually about halfway there. And it's a major arcana. Both of these are major arcanas. So we're not going to get out of this. Our egos are going through, at multidimensional levels, major transformation, major change. And again, our little baby ego in Harmonic Universe 1 is like, oh, I got to slow down. I can't be playing the game like I've been playing it before. I have to slow down. And yes, because at higher levels of self, we're in the middle of a major transformation to be something, to become, which is our goal. We don't want to stay where we're at. We don't want to be staying locked in that earth. We want to be transforming back into our organic state, more back into our organic, authentic expression. And then the next one is Scorpio, which you can't see on the page of Pentacles. And Scorpio has to do with birth and death. So, so the 8th house of past, transformative change, death, inheritance, and other people's resources. So inheritance, yes. And and death usually refers to the end of something old so that something new can emerge. So coming from the ego change, going into the ego's death, in a sense, because it's transformation. The ego, the way it was, is transitioning out and now is starting to birth into a new physical, so manifested identity. So this is kind of huge for the month of April. Actually, this has probably been a better layout than the last few months have been a little rough. And actually, the outer world has been definitely outpictured the inner, and all the world stage has been. And then we have Saggies, the 9th house. Okay. Wow. Saggy Waggies. So, energy of Jupiter. Supposed to be the lucky ducky energy, according to astrology. So, knowledge, higher knowledge, a higher mind, connecting into philosophies, religion, spirituality, the law, and advanced education, and travel. Many may be traveling long distances with this card. So you may be guided, people might be guided to actually go into many different places, many different new areas in their life. So it might be physical travel, it might be new modalities, spiritual modalities, something, higher education. And it might be multiple things that you'll be doing. And there's going to be a major thrust of energy in those directions, which would make sense as your new self is coming online. You're going to want to start getting educated. And there'll be many things coming as offerings in that direction. Okay. Cappies. Capricorns. Life tasks. So we're looking at social or professional status, career, public image, usually paternal connection, your father connection, authority, responsibilities, honor, reputation. And but what's kind of fun, although he's male, so there's the male aspect of the father, but he is a character who tends to play, and he's a kind of an actor and an entertainer. So with this energy of, or with the new birth energy, the receiving, and again, they're both fire. So we're just going to be getting lots of ideas, lots of energy, new information coming in, and we will be able to develop it into something that we can actually have fun with, and be it actually kind of softens Cappies a little bit, because Cappies can be kind of very, very hot. You're Cappy, that's right, Louis.
I am very hot-headed, very set in my ways.
You're going to be a little more loosened up, buddy. You're going to be a little bit more fun loving. So good. And then we move into Aquarius. So social media, friendships, working more with groups, affiliations, goals, hopes, wishes, and the ability as well to vision the future and see what's going on with new ideas moving forward into the future. My goodness, the Strength card. And it's the card next to it, the King of Wands. It's beautiful, beautifully aspecting this card. So we will be developing into a much more stable, balanced, strong, fun-loving, versatile. And also the Strength card is we've also tamed our lower base root passions and desires as well, so that we can actually have the ability to actually create and manifest in a powerful, strong way. And this will be in, again, developing goals, developing what we wish to have had happen, social media platforms, being more expressive in social media, maybe even setting up your own social media businesses, as well as becoming part of new communities or creating new communities, and having them be well, strong and stable. And when we move into our Pisces, the hidden realm, what's within us that's we haven't revealed yet, our dreams, fantasies, and again, we're now into our avatar expression, our harmonic universe 4, where we don't have a real strong connection with that area yet. But this card is saying, I mean, it's actually kind of a Pisces card. It's actually, I think it is Pisces. I think this is a Pisces card. So as we develop and grow, as we evolve into our more higher aspects of our ego self, as we day-to-day choose the crystal spiral and step out of the net, we will be able to start seeing what has been hidden. We'll be able to interpret our dreams easier. We'll remember our dreams easier. We'll start seeing those hidden messages within a lot easier, especially right next to the strength card, right? And it's actually opposite the world card. So being very complete within the world, even the hidden will become known. Yeah, I'm trying to, my layout's getting a little moved around here. So let's see, because another thing we look at is how, so the strength kind of comes with holding, again, that taking stock. But from taking stock, we become stronger. We wake up and are able to relax and have fun and play more. And again, both really positive. The Ace of Pentacles and the, can you see these, Lewis?
Yep.
Okay. And the Seven of Wands, which is very positive. So the month's going to start out kind of like step back, take stock, relook, refeel. What do we have to appreciate around us? Do we have and find that we pretty much have the bulk of what we need to begin being safe and secure within our own physical realm and moving towards waking up into more of our emotional, because Cancer, water, emotions, home, to where we can then start developing and evolving and building, because we are definitely transforming and building. Now, it's, again, we're talking a page, so it's not like the king or queen, right, or even a major arcana, but it's definitely saying April is going to be an awakening period, and we are definitely going to be birthing ourselves into the new year, because it's also a new year. April really is the beginning of the year. so yeah, and the beginning of the spring and all that good stuff. How are we doing timing wise? It was just about at the end of the hour. Did you want to add anything?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
While ordering this reading, I had so much coming down.
Awesome.
Like a big storyboard kind of came in.
Okay.
So with the first card, we got the Two of Swords. And kind of what I was saying with this is, right, you have to there's a decision that kind of needs to be made. But because we've got the world at the bottom, it kind of seems like it's going to be kind of abrupt, very abrupt. Even to the point where we might not even have enough time to really contemplate which side we really want to be on. Which then leads into that third card, which is the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles, when I kind of look at it, at least in that kind of context, it kind of seems like there's going to be a lot of fear of loss because of what's just happened. Even potentially losing, or even just losing the control aspect. So you're going to have a lot of people that are just going to be, right, I'm going to be like a boulder. I don't want to move. But then we've got the fourth card, which is the Judgment. So even though they don't want to move, they're going to get bloody...
Because they don't have a freaking choice.
Right,
You're
going. You're going.
You're going.
Doesn't matter. And fine, okay, they're going to end up going. With the Ace of Pentacles, they're going to be going through that little portal. But then, with the sixth card, is that the 2 plus? Is that 6 of Swords?
6 of Swords, yeah.
So they're not going to be very happy about it. getting kicked out of wherever they're
Well,
going
the
to be going
Six of Swords is moving out of troubled water. So wherever they were before, like you say, they weren't happy, but now they're kind of thinking, you know what, things are starting to turn around.
Yeah.
Kind of card.
So then we get the Death card, which is going to lead into complete transformation. And through this transformation with the Page of Pentacles, you get given a gift. And this gift with the Eight of Pentacles is going to develop very, very strongly, very, very quickly. And it's really asking you to develop the traits of the King of Wands. It's asking you to be very bold. It's asking you to be very charismatic and just really take bold action. And the last two cards with the Strength and the High Priestess, again, it's really just amplifying those traits of the King of Wands. At least that's what the Strength card is. It's really amplifying, being more charismatic, being more bold, being more assertive, and really just being that leader that we're always kind of supposed to be. But at the same time, you also have the High Priestess. So it's not like the King of Wands is going to be one-sided. He's going to have that connection with his 13th pillar, so he's going to be a very balanced leader. He's going to be very leading us into a new era.
I forgot to do the 13th card, the 13th pillar. So the Three of Pentacles. That's very much developing the foundation, building the foundation, which is pretty much what this whole card layout was, is building the foundation is being built. In fact, more than being built, it's now lining up to be lived, developed. So yeah, we have many forces working together in the physical realm, creating and developing. So yeah, it's very powerful right now. April is going to be very intense, but in a really good way. All right. Okay. Just kind of letting people know, just as a reminder, Harmonizing Journey to Realignment Seminar Sessions, Private Sessions. This is a journey to connect and realign with the internal, eternal core of your being, of the all that is, God's first eternal. We combine Keylanta technology, light body, and Tantra spirit body mechanics. So again, we go into the first one here under me, which is the travel vehicle, work with the Alanian fields, waves, connect to Snakeshore Island to get our pod space, or we're my pod space, connecting into the crystal caverns, and we get a lot of stuff done there, and the Rainbow Pillar Bridge of the what I call the bypass system, integral bridge, seven bridges flows, crystal bridgeway that Aisha talks about, up Ureta zone, rare earth up here. There's just a lot to it. And our HJR Gridkeepers community membership program, for those that would like to become involved with that. Gridkeeper mindfully develops a personal relationship with their multidimensional clan spirit family within their personal planetary margin field template. And it's designed to where a new person definitely can get their footing. It's a sequence of journeys that they can go through to get themselves up to where they can join the main group doing live sessions when you're ready. There's also monthly discussions, so we have those that you can go through, and as well you can right away, join the monthly discussion and meet everybody and get your questions answered and all kinds of good stuff with that. Private sessions are 30% off for Gridkeeper members, and because there's going to be times where you're going to want to, especially for somebody that's never done an HJR session, probably at some point you're going to probably want to do a private session just to make sure, am I doing this right, and getting connected, and what's, working through any blocks that you may have, and just kind of, there's quite a few different things to do. I know I'm going through this really fast, Liz, but we're over the hour. Yeah, and then HJR Gridkeepers Handbook. So for anybody that's kind of like me, oh, you get into this, what's the book? Well, here's the book. So you can also purchase the book and go through that. And it looks at the more psychological aspect of things as well as some of the technicals. So it really can give you a good grounding and stabilizing and making that shift off the net earth Fibonacci spiral onto the crystal spiral. And the Waking in Alania book series, newly inspired sci-fi fantasy series about who you are as a spiritual being living in a multidimensional bio-spiritual existence. So we have fun with the characters from Terra, from our Harmonic Universe 2 realm, and then next book is more into modern day Earth and how they work with kind of connecting into the crystal cavern networks of inner Earth. It's kind of fascinating. And then the schedule, Mastery of Kilanta Episode 6, April 7th at 8 p.m. EDT, Self-Love, pages 19 through 24 of the Postures of Love, Steps Towards Joy. Introduction to Kilanta Episode 7, April 14th, 8 p.m. EDT, The Council Domains Part 3, and then our next HJR Insights Tarot show on April the 28th at 8 p.m. for the energy forecast for May. And please like this video. Please share to anyone you think would be interested in this content. Please subscribe to get more of this content, and also hitting the notification button. I am not monetized by YouTube, so donations are greatly appreciated. And all the links for the private session, HJR Gridkeepers, the donation link are all in the description box. And as well as I may or may not have the link for Lewis's Telegram group. But anyway, if you're wanting to get the
access to the Freedom Teachings.
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm going to say, sorry, Lewis, but yeah, we're a little over today.
Perfect.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
It looks like it's going to be future people watching this, so thank you. For those of you seeing this in the recording. When I tuned in for whoever will be coming either now, tonight, or in the future, coming in to be part of this. So, all right. Did you want to add anything, even though I just went really fast?
No, it's fine. It's
okay.
fine.
All right.
See you guys.
All right. Thank you.